celebrities who are looking to lose a few pounds for a role, a photo shoot, a wedding, where they're like, hey, can I just get this to lose, 10 pounds because I have this wedding coming up.
You think you know how celebrities stay camera ready. Personal trainers, private chefs, maybe some good genes thrown in. But what if I told you there's something way bigger happening behind those red carpet smiles? Something that's making A-listers vanish right before our eyes? We're talking about Hollywood's worst kept secret. The one thing nobody wants to admit they're doing, but everyone can see happening. And trust me, some of these transformations are so extreme, you'll barely recognize people you've watched for decades. Today, we're counting down 15 celebrities caught up in Hollywood's new trend. Some admitted it, some flat out lied, and some, well, their faces told the whole story without saying a word. The higher we go on this list, the more shocking it gets. Let's dive in. Starting off strong with someone you absolutely did not expect. Michelle Yeoh, the woman who literally won an Oscar in 2023 for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Hollywood royalty, a legend who built her career on being a total powerhouse. So when she showed up on the Wicked press tour in late 2024, fans did a complete double take. Photos from the promotional events showed a dramatically different Michelle. Her face looked drawn, sharper in ways it never had before. That fullness that made her look ageless, gone. Social media immediately started buzzing. People were posting side-by-sides from the Oscars versus the Wicked tour, and the difference was jarring. Her cheekbones were suddenly sharp, her jawline more pronounced, and there was this hollow quality that hadn't been there just months before. Now, she's 63 and still booking massive roles, so the pressure to look Hollywood-ready is real. But the speed of this transformation, that's what has people talking. You don't go from Oscar glow to gaunt in under 2 years naturally. Michelle hasn't said a word about the speculation, radio silence, which honestly makes it louder. And here's the thing, she didn't need to change anything. She was perfect exactly as she was. But Hollywood doesn't care about perfect. It cares about thin. Remember Jon from Jon and Kate +8, the dad who became tabloid gold during that messy divorce? Well, his post-reality TV life took a turn nobody saw coming. Jon managed to drop 32 pounds in just 2 months. And at first, he was thrilled, posting about it, feeling good, looking noticeably slimmer. But here's where it gets messy. He couldn't keep access to the supply, and when you lose access, your body doesn't just pause. It rebounds. Hard. He gained all 32 pounds back. Every single one. Think about what that does to your face. First, you lose all this volume really quickly, which stretches and changes your skin. Then you gain it right back just as fast. It's like inflating and deflating a balloon over and over. Eventually, things don't bounce back the same way. Jon was actually pretty honest about the whole thing on the Tamron Hall show with his daughter Hannah. He admitted he regretted the entire process. And honestly, good for him for being real about it. Because this cycle of rapid weight loss and gain can leave you way worse off than when you started. Your metabolism gets confused, your skin loses elasticity, and Jon's story is the perfect reminder that these aren't magic solutions. They're temporary fixes that require long-term planning most people don't think about before jumping in.
She actually said, why don't you do a semaglutide, which is Ozempic. So I did that in December.
Emily Simpson from Real Housewives of Orange County walked straight into a social media nightmare. She combined the skinny shot with liposuction, which created this dramatic transformation that made her look completely different. Her face changed so much. She went from having this fuller, rounder look to something way more chiseled and drawn. Her cheeks lost volume, her jawline became super pronounced, and overall she just looked older and more tired than before. Classic case of what experts keep warning about. What makes her transformation so striking is how she attacked weight loss from multiple angles at once. Liposuction pulled fat from her body, while the shots caused the weight to melt off everywhere, including her face. When you go that hard, that fast, your face takes the hit because facial fat is some of the first to go and the hardest to restore naturally. Emily's case is a textbook example of how combining methods can amplify the damage. Sometimes more isn't better. Sometimes it's just more visible.
Like, I've sold out. I've given up the banner of, relatable, accept yourself, love yourself. And it's disappointing to sad to know that body positivity was all a big lie.
Here's something wild. Heather Gay from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City lost between 20 to 30 pounds, which doesn't sound massive compared to others on this list. But even that relatively modest weight loss created noticeable facial changes that she openly regrets. Her face became much sharper, her jawline more pronounced, and she developed that slightly hollowed look that's become the signature of rapid weight loss. But what makes Heather's story so compelling is her brutal honesty about how it made her feel. In multiple interviews, she's talked about feeling less confident after losing weight. She said her pre-treatment self was braver and stronger. Let that sink in. Someone who successfully lost weight saying they felt better before. Heather has described feeling like she sold out by using the help. She's talked about how body positivity was all a big lie in her experience. This is coming from someone who was previously an advocate for self-acceptance. The fact that she felt pressured despite her beliefs shows just how powerful Hollywood pressure really is. And here's the kicker. She said her personality actually changed after the weight loss. She feels like the version of herself that existed before was more authentic and confident. There's something genuinely disturbing about a method that can make you feel like you've lost part of your identity along with the weight.
I had absolutely no idea that when I was going to open up about my semaglutide weight loss journey.
Gigi from Shaws of Sunset has been super defensive about her transformation while simultaneously admitting that societal pressure influenced her decision. She dropped from 138 pounds to 110 pounds, which might not sound extreme until you realize that's a 20% reduction in total body weight achieved very rapidly. Here's where her story gets interesting. Gigi has claimed she avoided the classic hollowed-out face because she regularly uses fillers and Botox. Think about what she's really saying here. She had to use cosmetic procedures to prevent the negative effects of the treatments. That's not exactly a ringing endorsement. Even with all that preventative cosmetic work, her face still became significantly more defined, and her overall appearance changed dramatically. She went from having this softer, more rounded facial structure to very sharp, pronounced features. The change is jarring when you compare recent photos to images from just a few years ago. What's particularly concerning is the weight she dropped to. At 110 pounds, she's at the very low end of what would be considered healthy. The fact that she used the method to achieve this weight suggests her body naturally wanted to be heavier. This one honestly shocked everyone. Barbie Ferreira from Euphoria, who played the body-conscious teenager Kat Hernandez and was this huge advocate for body positivity, underwent such a dramatic transformation that fans literally couldn't recognize her in new photos. The weight loss was so extreme that social media exploded with speculation. Comments flooded her Instagram with people begging to know what happened. The transformation photos went viral across multiple platforms, with fans describing her as unrecognizable. According to sources close to her, she lost the weight to revitalize her career and better highlight her talents after leaving Euphoria. The transformation was described as a way of saying, "Hey, this is me now," essentially rebranding herself for different types of roles beyond the body-conscious character she was known for. But here's what makes it particularly painful. Barbie was someone young people looked up to. She represented something different in Hollywood, and watching her transform so dramatically felt like a betrayal to fans who saw themselves in her. Sometimes the pressure to fit in wins, even for the people fighting against it. Mama June from Here Comes Honey Boo Boo has one of the most complex transformation stories on this list. After initially losing over 300 pounds through gastric sleeve surgery, she looked amazing and seemed to have her life together. Then her daughter's diagnosis hit, and stress caused her to regain between 120 to 130 pounds. Instead of working with therapists or nutritionists to address the emotional eating, June turned to the jab as a quick fix. The problem? Using the skinny shot after massive weight loss surgery creates this weird yo-yo effect on your face and skin. June's face went through dramatic changes where it would look fuller when she gained weight back, then suddenly become hollow and saggy when the treatment kicked in. The loose skin from her previous surgery combined with facial volume loss from rapid weight loss created this aged, almost deflated appearance. What makes this even more troubling is that June documented a lot of this on social media. You could literally watch her face change week by week. June's story is a cautionary tale about what happens when you keep cycling through extreme interventions. Your body can only take so much before it starts showing the damage permanently.
God, I hope a real good shakeup. You know that tornado that came through my neighborhood? I hope it comes through the show, honey.
LeeAnne Locken from Real Housewives of Dallas never did anything quietly, and her transformation was no exception. While others whispered and denied, she shouted from the rooftops, "Yes, I'm using it. Yes, I've lost 35 pounds. And yes, I look amazing." She called it her magic shot on social media, posting before and after photos that looked like two different people. In 6 months, the Dallas firecracker transformed from curvy to gaunt. She thought being honest would win her praise for transparency. Instead, it made her the poster child for going too far. Fans commented that the woman known for her bigger-than-life personality suddenly looked like she'd been shrunk in Photoshop. Her trademark fierce expressions now appeared hollow, and her famous smile seemed stretched too thin across a newly sharp face. What made it worse was how she defended it. Jealousy is a disease. She'd reply to concerned comments, When a fan wrote they missed her old look, she blocked them. She started posting daily outfit photos. Behind the scenes, former castmates revealed LeeAnne had become obsessed with the number on the scale. She reportedly weighed herself multiple times during filming days, celebrating every lost pound on camera. Production grew concerned when she fainted during a particularly long shoot day in the Texas heat. LeeAnne's transformation shocked Dallas, but it also showed what happens when pride turns into obsession.
Yeah, for me, it's been hard. It was very hard while I was filming, obviously.
The moment Bravo cameras caught Alexia Nepola from Real Housewives of Miami getting the jab became reality TV gold. There she was, procedure in progress, insisting they were just B12 fat-burning shots. The problem, she was transforming so fast, even her closest friends were concerned. The change was so dramatic that fans created side-by-side comparisons that went viral. B12 doesn't do that became the top comment on every post. Users pointed to a telltale hollowness in her face and the complete disappearance of her famous curves. What made the footage explosive wasn't just the lie, it was her aggressive denial. When castmate Lisa Hochstein questioned the procedure on camera, Alexia got defensive, insisting vitamins could cause major weight loss. The scene became an instant meme. The controversy exploded on social media. Doctors weighed in, explaining that B12 shots don't cause significant weight loss. Fans posted the clip everywhere with captions like, "Tell me you're on it without telling me you're on it." Even other housewives from different cities subtweeted about vitamin shots, clearly referencing the Miami drama. Alexia's denial became so famous that it's now used as a punchline. And honestly, the fact that she stuck to such an obvious lie made it so much worse than just admitting the truth.
5 months later, now I find out you're good friends with him and you go to dinner with him.
Marysol Patton never wanted to be famous for the clinic, but that's exactly what happened when cameras caught her alongside Alexia. Her insistence they were just B12 shots turned her into a walking meme overnight. What made Marysol's situation worse was her role as Alexia's backup. She didn't just defend her own shots, she vouched for Alexia's too. "We go to the same vitamin specialist," she insisted on camera, while viewers screamed at their TVs. The more she defended, the guiltier she looked. Behind the scenes, other cast members were reportedly frustrated. Lisa Hochstein told producers she felt gaslit by the obvious lies.
That's the problem. It's like a vitamin that.
The vitamin story was insulting to viewers' intelligence, but Marysol doubled down anyway. The transformation was undeniable. Wedding photos from just 6 months earlier showed a completely different woman. Fans pointed out her jawline had sharpened, her arms had shrunk, and that Miami glow had been replaced by something harder, more angular. Marysol's story proves that sometimes the cover-up is worse than the crime. If she'd just been honest, it would have been a one-day story. Instead, she became a punchline.
Who's like, I think.
When Jessel Taank from Real Housewives of New York was asked about the Hollywood skinny shot, she didn't mince words. "I hate it. I would never." The raw response made headlines, but her dramatic transformation told a different story that had fans choosing sides.
Get Botox and I get filler. I've always done that.
Okay.
And I take care of my skin. Lots of water.
Okay.
And I lost some weight.
Throughout season 15, Jessel visibly shrank. Her designer clothes went from size 6 to size 2. Her face developed that telltale hollowness that fans had learned to recognize. Yet she maintained her aggressive stance against the craze, calling it cheating and dangerous every chance she got. What made Jessel's case fascinating was her anger about the accusations. During a girls' trip to the Hamptons, when Brynn suggested everyone just admit what they're doing, Jessel exploded. The confrontation was so heated that producers had to intervene. She literally threw a glass of wine and stormed out, screaming about natural weight loss. Behind closed doors, cast members were divided. Some believed Jessel, while others remained suspicious. The tension affected filming, with weight loss becoming the elephant in every room. Producers loved the drama, but Jessel was miserable, feeling attacked for something she swore she didn't do.
The 51-year-old singer says his eyesight has become blurry after taking the weight loss jab Mounjaro.
Robbie Williams' transformation has been so dramatic that experts are specifically citing him as one of the most prominent examples of extreme facial changes among male celebrities. And that's significant because men typically don't experience facial volume loss as severely as women. The 50-year-old British singer used what he described as something like the Hollywood method for weight loss, and the results were shocking. His face became dramatically longer and more drawn, with significant hollowing under his eyes and cheeks. The changes were so pronounced that he looked like a completely different person. Professionals told outlets that he looks like a totally different person, with a longer face, face that's very drawn. When experts are singling out your transformation as an example of what can go wrong, that's a serious red flag. Photos of him from recent events show someone who aged a decade in a year. The fullness in his face that gave him that boyish charm, gone, replaced by sharp angles and hollow cheeks that make him look tired. Robbie's transformation is proof that this trend doesn't discriminate. Men are just as vulnerable to the pressure and potentially just as affected by the consequences.
I did come down in weight, and I did it hormonally.
Hormonally?
Yeah, I was
not Ozempically.
Erika Jayne's latest transformation had fans worried instead of wowed. In just 3 months, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star went from lush to lean. Her explanation, it's menopause, hormones, and stress. But nobody was convinced. The change was impossible to ignore. At the season 13 premiere party, Erika arrived looking like a different person. Her signature curves were gone, her face showed what fans called temporal hollowing, and her $40,000 designer dress hung loosely on her shrinking frame. Photographers actually asked if she was feeling okay. What made the speculation explode was Erika's fierce denial, aggressively shut down Andy Cohen's gentle questioning about her weight loss. "My body, my business," she snapped. But when you're on reality TV, your body literally is part of the business. Cast members started commenting carefully. Garcelle Beauvais mentioned being concerned about Erika's health, but Erika's response was always the same. Blame hormones, blame age, blame stress. Anything but the obvious. The menopause excuse became a running joke on social media. Fans would post her transformation photos with captions like, "Menopause hit different for Erika." The more she denied, the louder the speculation became. And honestly, her defensiveness made it way more obvious than just staying silent would have.
I need to feel good. That's the other reason I'm on my peptide shots. I take stuff for my joints, my mental clarity,
Margaret Josephs from Real Housewives of New Jersey thought she was being smart by calling them peptide therapies instead of using the actual name. The Jersey entrepreneur proudly announced she'd lost 22 pounds using medical peptides, thinking the fancy terminology would make it more acceptable. She was wrong. Margaret's transformation was dramatic. Fans noted she went from Jersey curves to Jersey chiseled in just 4 months. But what made her case controversial wasn't just the weight loss, it was how she marketed it. She started posting about her peptide journey like she was a wellness influencer. She recommended her doctor to followers. She even hinted at writing a book about aging gracefully with peptides. She was turning her transformation into a brand, selling it to her audience. Cast members were horrified. Teresa Giudice called it irresponsible. Jennifer Aiden accused her of promoting dangerous behavior. Even Dolores Catania, usually neutral, expressed concern about Margaret's messaging to fans. The reunion became a battlefield over the influence she was wielding. Margaret's pride in her peptides revealed how normalized extreme measures had become. She wasn't hiding or denying, she was promoting. The woman who'd built a business on empowerment was now selling women on shrinking themselves with interventions. And that's what makes her story so troubling. Topping our list is Crystal Kung Minkoff from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and her story is different from everyone else's. She was fighting not to want it. "I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted," she admitted during a brutally honest confessional. When everyone around you is shrinking and calling it wellness, your brain starts screaming. That confession hit different. While others denied or defended, Crystal was exposing the crisis behind the trend. The pressure was crushing. At every Beverly Hills event, someone was noticeably smaller. Cast dinners became weight loss competitions. Crystal found herself surrounded by triggers, fighting thoughts she'd worked years to silence. She revealed she had to increase therapy sessions just to cope with filming. She became an unexpected voice of reason, calling out the toxic culture on camera. "We're glamorizing something that's basically prescription starvation," she said during a cast dinner, making everyone uncomfortable. Her honesty forced conversations the franchise usually avoided. Behind the scenes, Crystal reportedly considered leaving the show. The constant body talk, the weight speculation, it was jeopardizing her recovery. But she stayed, deciding someone needed to represent the survivors watching at home. Crystal's story wasn't about whether she used it was about the casualties of the obsession. She showed viewers the collateral damage of Hollywood's newest addiction. In a world where everyone is going for weight loss, she fought to stay the same size. And in this industry, that's the bravest transformation of all. So there you have it. Some admitted it, some denied it. But the visual evidence tells us that this industry is pushing an impossible standard that even the world's most beautiful women struggle to meet. But here is the important takeaway. We have to stop chasing these Hollywood standards. When we see see these transformations, we aren't seeing health. We are seeing extreme measures, expensive procedures, and often a lot of regret. This stuff was created to help people with serious conditions, not to help celebrities fit into their new wedding dresses. When A-listers use it as a cosmetic shortcut, they aren't just taking a risk, they are literally taking supplies away from the people who truly need them. And honestly, that is the dark side of this trend that nobody talks about. Real beauty isn't about vanishing. It's about being healthy, happy, and actually looking like yourself. So whether you hit the gym or just rock what you have, that natural confidence is always going to look better than a quick fix. Don't let the red carpet fool you. You are enough exactly as you are. Hit subscribe if you're ready to leave these standards behind. And let me know in the comments, which transformation surprised you the most?